Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 13th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame, earlier than I wanted to, but wasn't too bad. So it was really strange, didn't have any dogs here at all, and it hits home especially hard when these times I don't have a dog here at the house, when I don't also have Bruce, because normally, even though there are dogs here, I still have my own dog here, and with him being gone, it seems like it catches a little more, a little bit bigger slap in the face reminder with that whole thing. So I don't know, it kind of made me sad, but went ahead, got up, went outside, hung out for a little bit, jumped in the hot tub, and then got out, had myself a cigar, wait for my lovely bride to get up so we could get our day started. And she got up a while later. She got a nice sleep in, which is really good for her. She got to sleep in quite a bit, which was good. Supposed to have a dog get picked up this morning, and late last night they can't pick the dog up, so didn't really make plans, because part of me's like, well, today would be my perfect day to go like watch the sunrise on one side of the state, watch sunset on the other side of the state, and make like a full day trip out of that with my wife. But we didn't plan it because I thought I was gonna have a dog here. So, and then by the time I realized that I was going home, it was too late to make that plan. So we had decided we were going to go car shopping today again. So she had some other stuff she wanted to do first, and some work stuff and whatnot. And I said, when do you want to leave? And she's like, how about, I can't remember if I said like 2 hours, 3 hours, where it was. It was like in 3 hours. I'm like, okay, so we'll be car shopping during the hottest part of the day. Sounds like a plan. So I was like, everything works. So I went ahead and thought I got time for a cigar, and then got on my cigar, went and got my run in, got back, grabbed a shower. And my original plan was I'm going to go car shopping first and run afterwards, because I know I'm going to get hot and sweaty walking around here looking at cars. So I'm going to need another shower anyway. But then it became that late enough. I thought, well, I'll probably end up eating out while we're out. And often if we get like a buffet, I eat too much, then I don't want to run. So went ahead and got the run over, got the shower done, and then grabbed my cooler, threw some ice in it and some drinks, and we headed up to go car shopping. Weren't really sure where we're going. I kept asking, like, what do you want to look at? Like, what are we shopping for? And she said she wanted to look at the Toyota Prius, and which I think the Prius it's the nicest looking Prius I've had, but it's just a Prius. But she wanted to look at the Broncos again. She wanted to look at the Mavericks again. I think part of the reason we don't own a Maverick right now is because when we were looking at buying the Maverick, she still had her leg in a brace, and I can't remember if it was before or after surgery. It might have been before surgery even, and she was having a hard time getting in and out of the truck, which part of it, I think, because she had her leg in a brace, everything was hard to get in and out of. So, but I think that was a big part of it, but who knows. So we decided she wanted to go look at the Jeep Wranglers. She's leaning towards a 2-door, which is fine. It doesn't tow great. The 4-door and the Gladiator both tow better, but we got stuff that tows. I got a truck and I got a Suburban, both those tow, so not a big deal there. So, and then we went and looked all over, went to the Auto Mall, which is basically Daytona. There's a whole bunch of dealerships in a row. Ended up at the first dealership's Alfa Romeo. We didn't look at anything there. Went to the Ford dealership, where the hell, or not Ford, sorry, Dodge and Jeep. Looked at Jeeps, and the salesman guys just were standing outside, and this dude was just a straight douchebag. Like, one of the big things that stands out is the fact that he was like bragging about how he only wants to ride the motorcycle when he's drunk, and loves getting drunk and driving his motorcycle around. I'm like, that seems safe, and talks about drinking and driving and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I was like, and I was being a bit of a dick. I was like, yeah, I know a lot of guys that are too scared to ride a motorcycle unless they're drunk, or they don't realize the dangers and whatnot of a motorcycle. Then he's trying to like, oh, I'm brave about other things and stuff too. And I was just like, he came off the douchebag. He was talking shit about other salesmen, about how dumb they are and how incompetent they are and stuff. I'm like, wow, you really are just a giant piece of shit, aren't you? Like, it was bad. So she liked the Jeep. She wasn't in love with the Jeep, and of course it wasn't exactly what we wanted anyway. And they were asking $5,000 over invoice for a Jeep. So they turned a $9,000 Jeep into a $44,000 Jeep just by saying dealer profit. Oh, they also tinted the windows, which they said they have tinted windows on it, and there's no tint on the windows. So like, you guys charge $400 for window tint, and then $5,000 for dealer markup, which I don't know if you guys know this, but COVID's over, man. We're not paying over invoice anymore for this shit. And he goes, well, if you're local, they'll probably take that off. And I'm like, they're gonna take more than that off. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, it's just, yeah. So I was doing everything in my power I could to not get pissed off at these guys and their stupid, just how do you title the vehicle and stuff. I'm like, you don't need to fill out this shit. We're not buying anything today. Like, calm down, big boy. So I was doing my best because often I have walked out of their dealerships. I can't handle stupidity, and my wife really wanted to drive stuff, so I was doing my best to let her do all the talking, and I was just sitting back there biting my tongue as much as I possibly could and turning my headphones up, trying to ignore the salesman as much as I possibly could as well. So we left there, went over next door to Ford and looked at the Mavericks, looked at the Broncos again, and they didn't have, only Broncos they have were like Raptors and Rouse racing editions, and they had like a bunch of the high upgraded lifted stuff. Everyone's a lifted Bronco. Well, my wife is short as hell and she does not want a lifted Bronco, so it didn't make any sense. So we left there. That guy, it was funny, we were gonna ask him, I said, hey, do you have anything even the convertible, like even the used line, whatever and stuff? And he's like, no, not really, blah blah. And then he said, maybe over there, we got a blue Mustang convertible and a black Mustang convertible over there. And as we're heading over there, walking that way, really old man, and I said, oh, it's getting ready to rain. And he goes, no, it's not. He goes, no, it's not gonna rain. And I go, yeah, it's gonna rain. I can smell it. It's gonna rain. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm outside most of my day, every day. And I run, I ride bikes, all kinds of stuff outside, and I know when it's gonna rain, and it's gonna rain. They both look up and they're like, it's not gonna rain. Look at how it doesn't even look like rain. And I'm like, okay. We made it, I don't know, 35 more feet, and it started raining. And it started raining pretty quick, and it started raining pretty hard. And I just started laughing. I'm like, I'm glad you both were correct, and I was wrong, because, whew, it sure ain't raining. So we hit on one of those like big giant sales circus tent things out of the rain, and then it kind of let up a little bit, and I was like, well, I'm gonna walk down and see what Mustang it is down there. And I walked away from them, assumed they went be out in the rain, whatever, no big deal. Walked in, it's an ugly blue, not in the pretty blue, an ugly blue Mustang, and it was the EcoBoost Turbo, which is not the motor I'd want. Anyway, if we were gonna get one, I probably would at least upgrade to a GT with a V8 in it, just because it's more traditional. I don't know, just if you're gonna drive a shitty Mustang, you might as well at least drive a better shitty Mustang. So I went ahead, walked down, looked at it, came back to the tent. I'm like, where's that? She goes, oh, he said he's going in to get me an umbrella. I'm like, okay. So I'd already walked like half this parking lot, looked at this Mustang rain, came back, stood around for a while, never saw the old man again. We have no idea what happened to the guy. So we stand there for a while. I'm like, well, I'm leaving. Like, I don't need anything in this dealership. And she said, well, if we're gonna buy one, we'll probably buy it back. The other dealership we talked to, the Ford dealership and whatnot. And I'm like, okay. So we walk over, and I probably should have been wanting to say, hey, why don't you stay here in the tent? I'll get the car and come back and get you. And she didn't. She followed me, so it's getting rained on, whatever. Which it wasn't raining real hard, but we get there, and I noticed a couple people have their car sitting out front, and I think there was two of them looked like they were being delivered today. Like they had, sold, for pickup, blah blah, whatever, and had the today's date on it, with the windows down, and it's raining. It rained hard, so you're getting ready to pick up a brand new Ford, and you're gonna pick the car up with sloppy ass seats, and I'm like, oh, I'd be a little pissed off if I was buying my brand new car now with soaking wet seats and just got rained in my brand new car. Would not really be happy about that. So went ahead and we left there, and it was funny because the Dodge guy was trying to like tell us about payments and shit, and I'm like, we don't need payments, like we got this shit covered. But then we got the Ford guy, and she kept watching even as we went down the parking lot, turn around, headed back out. The old guy never came back to the tent to get her, so he never did show back up. Never even walked that side of the building. Never saw him come out of the building again. So apparently he's still looking for an umbrella. I don't know if he went to Walmart to buy one or what, but whatever. So we left there, went on down a little ways, and hit the Volkswagen dealership. Nothing. We drove around it. We drove around the parking lot yet, and they don't have anything really that fun in what she's looking at. They have fun sporty cars. They handle great. They have great gas mileage, but they look like her Focus, and she doesn't want that. So I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. So we head on down, end up at the Mercedes dealership, and we roll up in there and basically ask, hey, what do you have? Basically we're looking for, we looked at the two little convertibles up front, used ones. And I asked if they had anything else. They're like, nope, that's all we got for convertibles. And the guy turned and walked back inside, because I'm like, I swear I saw a convertible down there in the lot still. Like, what the hell? So I was like, okay. So it started to rain pretty hard. So we just left, Drove on down, drove through Subaru, nothing there. She wanted, oh, I like this, the Cross Track, where it is, or Sport Track, or something track. That thing's actually not a bad looking vehicle. Nothing we needed though. From there we headed out, went down through CarMax, and CarMax had a really nice, I'm sure here it is, 2020 I think it was, Mercedes convertible AMG 55, I think I remember. Big twin turbo V8, beautiful blue, gorgeous car, but it was, I don't know, 60 grand or some junk. It was a lot of money. And she's like, I don't want to pay that for a used car and yada yada. I'm like, okay, hey, you make up your own mind. You do what you want to do. So then they had a couple of cars there, nothing we wanted to look at. They had a really nice Honda Civic Type R inside, but it's nowhere in hell she'd ever grab that car. It would be something like if she was 22 and, you know, frat boy, she'd be all at it. But from there we headed on down a couple of other dealerships, ended up stopping back at the Mercedes dealership. This time found a different salesman, thank goodness. And then she was super helpful. She went and showed us a couple cars, and the one of them was, God, I don't remember how old it was now, like a 2013, 2014 Mercedes. Beautiful convertible. There's that odd, that pearly white color with the tan interior, just kind of dull. It felt a little big to her, she thought. But the thing is clean. This thing is like mint condition. So nice. And she didn't want to do with it. And then we were walking out, so I was picking up a SLK 300 little convertible, moving around front to show to somebody else. And she looked at it and she actually really liked it. It's like that BMW Z car size. And it's like, whatever. But again, wrong color, wrong interior, and wrong transmission. So 3 big things against it, and it's still a shit ton of money, you know. But 2-year-old where it was the last year or the year before last year of that, but I stopped making them, so the 300s, but who knows. So we went from there, head on down, ended up at Nissan. She wanted to look at the Nissan Kick, and met a really nice salesman there, super nice, chill guy, and laid back. I was like, what the hell? Sprinklers coming up. But I was like seeing her stuff, and while he went in looking for the keys, we just opened the car up and sat in it, and she's like, this car is a piece of shit. I'm like, I told you it was going to be garbage. Like, it's a $25,000 car base price. Like, it's the cheapest car on the market right now, and everything is just cheap and flimsy and plastic. It's just like, no, I don't want it. So by the time he came out, we're like, he can't help us. It's not what we want. Nothing else. They don't make anything good anymore. So we left. They go, how about a Rogue? I'm like, no, definitely not a Rogue. Like, we're not looking at that right now. So left there, ended up heading over towards the Toyota dealership, which online says they close at like 4 o'clock, and it's like 20 till 4, and it's like a 17-minute drive over there. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. And so I said, call them and find out. No, they don't close till 8. So I'm like, okay. So we drive over there, and they're doing construction. There's like 4 guys sitting out front in a tent, and they have no Priuses in stock at all, because we can order one for you, and everything we have is already spoken for and stuff. I'm like, you guys didn't have one here I can just even walk around and look at? He goes, nope, nothing. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. Because we have some back in the service department, but they're closing already. And I'm like, oh, so you have brand new cars. The only ones you have are the ones that have already broke. That is not a good sign for the Prius. But I was like, okay, whatever. So we have some stuff. Went ahead and looked at the Toyota Tundra and stuff. She couldn't see out it very good. The blind spots and stuff with the way the seat rests and whatnot hit. Just doesn't fit her good. So left there, ended up going over to the Chevy dealership, and I said, let's look at the Colorado. Even though I'd asked her about the Colorado prior to, and she was like, nope, don't want nothing to do with the truck. I'm like, okay, this is what I said numerous times, which is one reason she didn't want the Maverick also, because it's too much like a truck. So went ahead, looked at the Colorados and whatnot, and decided to drive one. Met a real nice salesman there, super chill, laid back dude. Talked to him, and the storm was still trying to come in. It kind of rolled over and it started making a new storm around us. So he asked if I want to drive one. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's try one. Because she might fall in love with it, she might show she hates it. My goal is, if she hates it, I don't have to look at it anymore. I don't have to think about it. If she loves it, then I got to decide if that's actually going to be a good vehicle for us and move on. So either way, we need to know what it is. So she went to get the keys, things, which one we drive? They're all the same. Like, the color don't matter and stuff. We're going to order a different color anyway. So just whichever one's dirtiest, because if we get rained on, it's going to get dirty on the road. So it's going to be cleaned anyway. So he laughed. He grabbed the one with the tan and exterior. So took her for a ride. Actually real good. Like, she said it's between the Jeep and the Colorado. She had to buy one a day. In between those two, she hadn't made her mind up 100% which one she'd want yet, but at least we're narrowing it down now to a 4-wheel drive Jeep or a 4-wheel drive Colorado. And she said she did like being up a little higher. She felt like she could see a little better, but who knows? I don't know. Part of me likes the idea of the Jeep because there's so many accessories and so much crap you can do with that, and the top comes off, where she'll never take the top off, but I will. So that'd be a nice thing to have. Where the truck is just a truck. We'll never take the doors off the thing. You know, it's not the same thing there. So, and it's really not a real usable bed. It's not like I can haul a Harley in the back of the damn thing or nothing. So, but yeah, there's that. The Colorado does tow a lot better, so that would make my life a little easier for pulling like stuff back and forth to Iowa, like my freezer with my cow in it, whatever and whatnot. So we got done there, and then while they went in to talk about if they could find her a blue one and so on and so forth, I'm like, hey, there's a whole line of Corvettes over there. I'm gonna go look at those real quick. And they had a row of Corvettes from base price like 73 grand to the $140,000 Z06. And I was like, wow, you have two regular vets or one Z06. Like, that's a big difference in price. And then I walked back in. I'm like, you realize the Colorado's gonna be like 50 grand. The Corvette's 75,000. Like 25 grand more, you can just drive in a Corvette every day. Like, why don't you just get the Corvette? He's actually, we're doing 10 grand off the Corvette right now. Turned out I think it's only 6 when the manager came over. But either way, I'm like, we're still not that far off. Like, we're still at that point because the truck would be through off so back and forth. I'm like, we're like 20 grand difference. You can be driving a Corvette every day. Like, buy a Corvette. Like, just buy a Corvette. So she was like, no, I don't think I want a Corvette. Da, 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 da. So we didn't even drive it. So I'm like, they're not that expensive anymore. Like, the Corvettes haven't gone up in price as much as like regular trucks have. Cause you'd be able to buy a truck for 10 grand. Now it's 50 grand for a truck. Like, it's disgusting. Corvettes were 35,000 and now they're 70,000. They've only doubled, where trucks have quadrupled or more in price. So it is what it is. So went ahead, we left there, and then got talking about different things and stuff and whatnot, and whether or not she'd want the car or not want the car, and so on and so forth, and who knows what. And I told her, if you just don't find something you want, just keep driving the Focus. Like, my truck's gonna die one of these days, but luckily we have money in the bank. I'll just go buy another truck within 3 days. You know, I'll find something, go buy another $10,000, $15,000 truck, and the amount of money we'll lose on a brand new Colorado is probably 10 or 15 grand. So if you buy a brand new Colorado and decide you don't want it in 6 months, whatever, we're gonna lose 10 to 15 grand on that truck. Boom, same thing. And we didn't have a truck you didn't want. So I'll buy another shitty truck, drive it for 3 or 4 years, wait for it to die, and just do it again. So who knows, we'll see what happens there. But on the way back, figuring out what we're gonna eat, she decided she wanted to go to a little place called Thai Mango. It's been here for years. They've recently started moving different locations, and it's kind of, I'm not sure if it's working out for them, if it's not working out for them, not really sure yet. So, but she wanted to do their curry, which that was a little bit weird because we're way up north of Daytona. Like, we should eat somewhere a little bit farther from home because this thing is literally right there in New Smyrna. So, but she goes, if I see something else the way, we'll eat there. If not, we'll eat Thai Mango. And I said, cool. We'll open a Thai Mango, got herself the chicken curry. I'm not sure, it's yellow one. I'm not sure which one she ordered, her favorite. And then we also go eat rices, and then we split it. And by the time we both leave there, we are both stuffed. Like, it is so full. So we got done there and then headed back home. Basically, it kind of made a lazy evening the rest of the night, and it was just a day of driving around listening to stupid car salesmen, and it was a miserable, awful day. But we got some shit accomplished, and that's the only thing that matters, is gonna get some shit accomplished, try and get her to make her mind up and figure out what we're gonna do. Which, as of right now, it sounds like we're gonna keep her car. I told her, I said, hey, I think part of the reason you're kind of a little bit nervous about it is spending the money on the car. So why don't you start making yourself an extra car payment? Just put it into a separate account. Open up an account that says car payment on it. Put $400 or $500 a month in there, whatever you think car payment would be if you were to ever be a car payment type person. So start paying that, and then basically, as it gets built up, when you do decide you want a different car, already have. If it takes you a year, it's a $6 grand, extra. So that's $6,000 off the price of the car, kind of thing. So that makes it easier to purchase the vehicle when the time comes. So there's that helps a little bit, but who knows. So, but yeah, I got home, went outside in the heat, had myself a cigar, and then basically headed back in, had a little snack, got back in there. She was snoring, she was sleeping good, which is good for her. So yeah, we basically hung out there and then watched a little bit of Hulu and wrapped up, called it a night. So that's all I got for now. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.